Glorious day to you, my friends. Kyokotor Ushana Atakarhasiha. Welcome to day number 64 of being, this blissful existence, illuminating and nurturing our own grace. Iskatara anahasa otora asakahata. I'm chuckling just because I was sitting in meditation beforehand and just trying to empty my entire self to let them drive the conversation. And just as I'm pressing play and record, it's just the conversations that they're having. It is so humorous. So this series for 144 days, we are spending time with our inner being. We're going to be breathing and chanting. We're going to use the KISS method, the simple approach to this being, by focusing our awareness on the breath. We're allowing all those other thoughts to go away. It's not like we're allowing it. We're not even thinking about allowing them to go away. Excuse me. The focus on the breath and our focus on the chanting are doing all the magic right there. It's our focus on it. We're engaging in dharana and dhyana. We're engaging in those two aspects by focusing on the breath and focusing on the chant. And then it just happens that they become our entire reality. We're breathing and we're chanting. And we're so focused on it that we're in this state of extreme focus. We're in this state. So we're chanting. The imagery they gave me at the beginning is we're spiraling up this great pyramid of the self to the edge of the matrix, this reality, to the edge of what we think is reality, to the edges of our mind, to the edges of our inner being. We're going there. Then when we're there, we're going to poke our head or our awareness through the hub of the dharma chakra, overlooking the ways of this universe that flows. We're not paying attention to it anymore. We're poking our head through the hub so this churning of the wheel doesn't affect us. And we're using this Eye of Providence. They call it the Eye of Providence for a reason, because we get plenty of aha moments. That's really what they said right before I came on. And I'm like, and with this Eye of Providence, we're gaining a divine perspective on this reality. We're gaining a divine perspective on this contrast, the opposites of everything, the yin and the yang, how we value all our experiences, how we observe our experiences, how we see things. All these things may come to us by using this Eye of Providence while we're dwelling in our lotus of awareness. It's up to each of us. And we're doing this for 144 days. Since we're spiraling up, we're using the golden spiral, and we're using the Fibonacci sequence. In this current phase of the series, it's a 34-day phase, and we are, the first 55 days, we were slowly releasing our attachment. The Earth Star chakra has to do with our root system and where we get our nourishment from this Annamaya Kosha. And as we learn to let go of our roots in the physical and then place them into our heart center, to the true nourishment of our soul, of our true authentic self. Now we're on the root chakra, our foundation. And as we take the bricks from our foundation in this physicality and place them as the foundation in our heart center, in our Brahma Vihara, this abode of God, the abode of the true self, kiso uno tora ate-aryataha. The creator that we are, Brahma, Vihara, with the higher ways, the higher doing, the higher thinginess, our Brahma Vihara, ni tora sanahatura. And we're now in this pranamaya kosha. For the next 3 chakras and the next 3 phases, we're subtly dealing with our breath and the effects of our breath. What they were telling me before, so today we're talking about moksha. You already know the title. I don't. So many ideas came in about what this title could be. But we're talking about moksha, the portal to moksha, or the realization of moksha, this freedom, this liberation. It has come to mean freedom and liberation, but what does it really mean? We're going to get back to the chants in a second and the aha moments, because they're going to bring it back around. So moksha is 2 root elements, moka and sha. This, interestingly, I laughed. Moksha is the skinning of animals. So we go hunting, we take the skin off, and then we have the meat. We're going to prepare the meat. Well, the removal of this skin is moka. And the sha means so many things, but the ones that I'm interested in, going back to why moksha is liberation, this sha is the end of it, or the final skin removal. The koshas that we're dealing with, this annamaya kosha, this cloak or sheath of food, nourishment. Then the pranamaya kosha, this kosha or piece of clothing that we put on our soul for breath. And then the manomaya kosha, this piece of clothing we put on that we call our mind, this how we think in our mind and our being able to think, this idea of the mind. And then we put on a cloak of this vijnanamaya kosha, this higher knowledge, the wisdom, the way things really are. And our ultimate, when we were in this creative essence, before we incarnated, we were in this state of bliss, this only kosha, and we can't even call it a kosha, this ananda, this bliss of the state of being is ananda, paramananda, this highest bliss, the total essence of just bliss. You've heard the saying, ignorance is bliss. Well, we're going to play around with this idea of ignorance. So this bliss, this ananda, who we are, because we wanted to come and incarnate in an experience, and we wanted to experience this physicality, or at least the ideas of this physicality, we put on these layers of clothing, these koshas, so we could experience more fully. We put on this idea of higher knowledge, higher wisdom. But at the beginning, this vijnanamaya kosha was just jnana. It was the purva and svaha. It's the self, the thing we're thinking about, and the meaning of it. And we're going to get to the meaning. So we got these 3 things that are a part of this vijnanamaya kosha. It's just the 3 things. Okay? So we put on this idea of the 3 things. How can I think of something? How can I give it meaning? And then how does this whole reality get created because of that? Well, it's because I put on my vijnanamaya kosha. I can do this. We can do this. We are one. Then we said, how can we get more value out of this thinking thing of I think of a thing, I give it value, and then I reevaluate my sense of self because of it. So then I put on this manomaya kosha, this skin, this moka. I put on the skin of this mind. Now I can discern, and now I can judge. I can evaluate. Does this value of this thing I created, this bhuva of this bhu that I created, now I can differentiate these two. I can judge them. I can have the knowledge, because I've eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. I can separate them into, I like this, I don't like this. I can separate into yin and yang. I can separate this into positive and negative, good and bad opposites. I've now created contrast because of my Manomaya Kosha. Then we put on another one. How can I do more experience? I can create my lower chakras, and I can create this thing called pranamaya kosha, this thing called breath, which infuses energy into these lower chakras. And then I can take this idea of contrast even further, and I can apply it to these ideas of, I want to create this. I have a mind of my own, and I can do it. I can do it. And then this svadhisthana, I have this sense of self, of me. I have this creative ability. What do I want to create? How do I want to seek pleasure out of this world? And then we did the ultimate. How do we make this sense of foundation, this fear, this fight or flight, or rest and digest? How do I get to this state of tension so then I can get back to the state of relaxation? That's what the Muladhara is all about. And these lower chakras are about the exercise of the soul. We're creating resistance, and we're creating this tension so that we can learn from it and expand from it. We're giving new meaning, this bhuva, to the bur in our Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now this moksha, we're skinning ourselves, we're taking off the clothes. That's what moksha, that's what it means. We're taking off our Annamaya Kosha. Well, we did that in the first 55 days. We took off our Annamaya Kosha because we placed all our roots here in our heart center. So when we breathe, we're breathing in and out of our root system of the true nourishment of the jewel that's in the lotus, of our true authentic self. But still, one does not realize moksha by talking about it. One does not realize moksha by having somebody else talk about it. It's not only a thought, it's the aha moment. It's oh, I am really the cause of all my stuff. And because I'm the cause of it, I don't have to think that way. So many discussions that I've had this week, just mind-blowing discussions. And they start out really small. Somebody's talking about something else, or they do something that we as humans say, oh, that's really dumb. How can they do that? That is so disrespectful. And then as we break it down, it's like, okay, when somebody is talking, it's about them. It's all about them. It has nothing to do with us. But because we've put energy into these chakras, we put imprints, and so we have memory in all the things that we've done, and we have memory of guilt and shame and fear, and this guilt and shame have caused the fears. We have taken note of our failures, even though everything we do is successful, because we send something out to the universe and we get it right back. That's it. 100% successful every single time. 100% of the time. 100. But our belief system judges it differently. Our inner being judges it as, oh, Yeah, we did that. It is a completed action, but you, in your individual idea of self, feels like you want to hold on to it for some reason and keep giving it new meaning over time and over time and over time. That's what it means to be in our energetic field. This is this karmic imprint that we have. We keep giving it meaning. So the idiot who's ignorant, ignorance is bliss. If you don't know that it's in your energy field, you don't know that you keep giving it value, by definition, we're not giving it value. That's the dumb answer. But if we once realize that if the other person's talking and we get triggered, when we get triggered, it's on us. Meaning, it's all about us at that point on how we interpreted what was said or what was done. That's it. We interpret it a certain way, and we decided based on our emotions and the energy in our lower chakras, how balanced they are, or how open or wide or fluctuating they are. It's one way to say it. But we get triggered. We get triggered because we have some memory in these chakras that is serving something, but this is what Pratyahara is all about, is withdrawing from the senses of the body and the chakras and the reactions of those. Because if we can separate the mind, and this is what Pratyahara is all about, what Patanjali wrote about. If we can separate our mind, our heart mind, from the reaction of everything that our ego and our memory and our senses, our physical senses are telling us, if we can separate the processing from that and the emotion from that, and we just get input from that, then we can actually make a sound judgment call. Instead of us reacting to it based on imprint in our chakras, in our emotional field, or however you want to say it, based on our experience. As a kid, I was beaten so many times in, so many days, blah, 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 and that left an imprint on me. Yep. And what happened in your last life, if traumatic things like that happened, left an imprint. If you believe in those types of things. But how we react is on us. The liberation comes when we realize, when it gets up to here, through here, and we go, aha. And I'm chuckling because they said, saha. Saha. Soham. Nitora ashkanaha Torah atakura. Or it's the Om aha moment. The Om provided a wisdom for the aha moment. Atsukucha atarya ka anoko hurtaha. The aha moment, because we realized, oh, all this interpretation of what's happening is on me. I can choose differently. And hence the deprogramming process of, well, what does my belief system tell me how to react in this situation? Which is why we're meditating, which is why we're breathing, which is why we're chanting. Because when we're solely focused on the breath and the chant, and allowing this magical chant to work with us and for us, and if we chant it aloud, we are also engaging in our intention and our vocal cavity to cause the resonation, to accentuate the chant, accentuate the breath, accentuate the chant, accentuate our focus. And when we're so focused, nothing else exists at that moment except our breath in the chant. That's it. And the more we do this, the more we practice meditation or pranayama or mantra, the more we're in this state of extreme focus. of extreme presence. Same thing can happen anywhere. If we're on our mat doing yoga, practicing yoga, or if we're out on a run, on a long run or whatever, and we're in this state of runner's high, there's also a physical thing that goes on, but there's a mental thing that goes on. We're focused. Singly focused. But once we realize this saha moment, maybe that's today's title, the saha of moksha. Kayata rasanahata guru urshana ukuhusha ititiariata hatarati hisata. This aha moment is the realization. When we go aha, that's when we're assigning the value of remembrance of that thing. We're remembering the freedom of that. The funny thing is that moksha doesn't happen because we try. Moksha happens because we don't try. Moksha just appears. It's a part of this shrishti. All the most beautiful things of the universe are a part of this shrishti that just happen for us. It happens because our action, our karma, was complete. It had no intentions. It had no attachments to the outcome. They do have intentions. We're splitting hairs. Because they're kriya, they're complete, which means they're not coming back with any expected result. They're coming back as they are in their true they're coming back as their true essence, in their sattva, in their truth of their tattva, their thatness. They got created, they got created solely from action, without expected result, without value being attached to what came out. Creating from the true essence. That's what that is. That's what this Kevalya is all about. This creative essence of who you are. This creating as the innocent fool who's only blissfully creating. But this saha moment of moksha, it comes when it comes. And us trying to achieve it is the opposite of achieving it. Ekatarata, yes. You Sanskrit speakers translate that one. Atarishkana otoro. If you speak my language, asihinoroto ohosha atar akehata. Okay. So we're chanting. We're using the Mala of Joy, and we're chanting Om Ahum, the wisdom of the emptiness that we are. It's the aha moment of the Om. The Om aha moment. And while we're chanting Om Ahum, maybe we'll get some aha moments from the Om. And they become aha because we realize it, which means that we see it, we know it, we understand it, and we embody it. We become it. That's what the realization is. We make it real. And when we make it real inside of us, it is real. It's the same thing of the creative process of this vikara that creates a bur and then attaches meaning to it. This bhuva. We're the ones attaching the meaning. If we stop attaching the meaning, or we understand that the meaning is self-contained in its own essence, then maybe we can then sit in our own essence and be blissful. Nita Aricha, which is us dwelling in our lotus of awareness. And from our humanness, we see it as ignorantly creating. I'm just creating what I want, what I feel like at any moment in time. But because we have no attachment to it, it ends up being complete and whole and beautiful and perfect. But our realization is when it just goes ka-thunk into our body and it's just now knowing. Ah, aha. And the chuckling comes from our previously human perception that saw the separation in it. But the aha came because of our unity with it. Aha, tiarasa, ashaku anati, hata artkanaya. I can't understand why I didn't see it before. It's so simple. I did that? I created this all hot mess here? But if we see it as a mess, well, guess what? We got to clean it up to complete the ideal. Who spills a slippery substance on the floor and then walks away? To cause everyone else to slip and fall. That's what this cleaning up our mess is about. But once we realize it's a mess, cleaning it up is a no-brainer. And then maybe asokara, yeah, as we created it. Asahachita orasana akihata. And I'm sorry, I'm just chuckling at all this translation here. Asuhuchiti aryara artsanai kotoro. Because from the realization point, we know not to do it again. Or we know how to create more joyously because that aha moment, that saha moment happened. And now we deal with our past, that we'd have to deal with the karmic imprint of those actions that were before the saha. And we'll get there. But because we've had this saha moment, that we lovingly clean up the mess. It's just another form of chopping wood and carrying water. Before we had the saha moment, we were chopping wood during our lives. We were carrying water. And after we had our saha moment, we go, oh, so that's the purpose of chopping wood and cutting water. I mean, cutting water, yeah. Chopping wood and carrying water. So, before I use myself a little more, let's ask our inner being, okay? So I invite you to relax. And to be still. That's the two-part definition of asana. Sukha. And sthiti. Being. Restful. Peaceful. Still. Relaxed. And it does not matter if you're lying down, seated, or seated in meditation. What works for you is important. What's comfortable for you, what's easy for you is important. Kasuhuchiara, Nita Ara, Anasokotoro. If you need a few more shimmies, go right ahead. Asahochiara Yasanakota. Because this is about you. Sihitoruna Hokasha. Now let us focus our awareness on our breath as we begin to lengthen and deepen our breath. As we pay attention to more of the qualities of our breath. As we listen to the sound of our breath. And we're aware of the temperature of our breath. As we're aware of the sa of the in-breath as it influences our body. And we're aware of the ha of our out-breath and how it influences everything outside of our body. Breathing in the sa, the infinite of the sa. Bringing that inwards. And breathing out the ha. And aware of how it influences outside of us. Breathing in the sa. Spending a moment between the inside and the outside. As we breathe out the ha. As we influence the outside world. Then we spend a moment in between the outside and the inside. This is what Samavriti is all about. Bringing it inside. Spending a moment inside. Breathing it outside. And spending a moment outside. But as we breathe, and realize the four aspects of the breath. Of it coming in, of the inside, of the going out, of the outside. Coming in with Om, spending time with Mani inside, breathing out with Padme, and spending time outside with Home. With what we just breathed out, being aware of the breath in, being aware of the Om coming in, being aware of Mani as we spend time inside, being aware of Padme as we send it out, and being aware of the Hum, our influence on the outside, that we are everything. But as we focus our awareness on our heart center, realize that there is more to this breath than these four factors. We realize that our state of being although we think we get there from going inside, the state of being, our heart center, our lotus of awareness, is neither inside nor outside. It is neither between or out of between. And as we start to lift the veil of this physicality, of these four ways, of these four states, of these four elements, we get to the being of our heart, the spirit of our heart, and the ways of spirit. This three-dimensional aspect of Bur, Bhuva, Svaha. This three-dimensional aspect of who we really are. These three aspects of the Ananda chakra, this wheel of bliss, Kasucha creating with an open mind, creating without attachment, causing changes without attachment. And then this Bura simply appears and is, in the meaning, the bhuva of this thing, is sufficient in what it is. This is the heart's way. This is spirit's way. As we realize, as we create from our heart, that's all realization is. And we are this highest source of consciousness. As we allow this breath, as we allow our heart, the awareness of, to simply be. Our true essence needs no purification. Our true essence is pure in and of itself. And as it creates without attachment, which is purity, it simply creates. And it is what it is. It needs no further value. as it is perfect and complete, just like the one who thought it into existence. You, your true essence. Already complete. Always have been complete. Always will be complete. It is simply ideas. It is simply made up value. And made up ideas of incompleteness. You are complete. You are enough. You are self-fulfilled. Any other value or idea you created or accepted from outside. And as we release attachments to those ideas, simply by dwelling in the self or completed self. And all those other ideas no longer exist. So the process for this. We begin with Aum. Simply Om stretched into its 3 sound components. Ah for the heart, Ooh for the root. To savor, to embody, to realize. Maybe we just begin with Ah today for our aha moment. It just is a full expression of our heart. Okay, so we'll chant Ah today to begin. Simply the beginning sound of Om, sound from our heart. And then the invitation to chant Om Ah Hum 108 times. And the invitation to transition again with Ah. After a few breaths, we invite in a being of higher consciousness or a collective consciousness, or bring in our true self and sit with our true self in our own existence. Sharing wisdom or nothing, for our highest good, for our highest bliss, for our Ramananda, whatever's most relevant for us right now, at this time. After a few minutes, we'll bid them farewell, as we can always see them at some time in the future. And again, transitioning with and then chanting So-hum 36 times, using this three-way process of the heart, of the spirit, and concluding with It's like angels singing. The sound of Angelica Ha, Kitiri Rohoso Oeha, Saihi Arata Ekoha, Karitane Erasahai, Shai Kari Aratohoayaha, Sihiarata Atoto Oshanato Yaha, Harhi Arasa Aya Akaturata. So a breath in for and a breath in to chant. Om Ahum. 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 Tibetanara taha sukurta hartinatara shikotoro sanaro utoro kaya shiara sukurta nisa eatora hasuhukutana hetortai katutur sanoyara kasuk chartiara karsono hukura suya uroshanoka stititara suna hatar shanahayarta uturukuna haturusha oa turhuna kasukuturtana kasikuturo una hasukaha tarahana usuuhukutura artar arra tarsha ekoha satikitiar hasuno otoro hukatura nisa ashoya sasayekitiar yatahana haturoshu uktorana sikichiara torta sayekitiar yanahukwa utar sa achiar hasoya ura soya ka katar sada katur unuhukur hasuya atara kasihikitiar hasuta sikiara nisa akachuhutur unahukutora nisa achiar yatahuta si ukutur naha kashahe ka atara utoro okata arsana heta asa akaha om Sahititi ariata koshonotoraka sututa tarhanaya hartukushoya urtakarosha uka sahikitura tana acharyana hatar ushono ukohata karhasanayana Oto Sihitur shana ori hatur asana harosha ayeko hanwa harta arsana ekora ti itar sana hasuko harosha uku rosha akuhya narhasa akatora artkana hera kasuhuku choro hotarotaka si iti tiaryarana hakuha Urhosana ukuhutar kahetara Harsa anahasha ekutar hasika ayahotura kaha Kutur unuhucha arba sukaha Si icha ta aranahasua Katuru ursunu hukuru hatana Harita artakanahasuka Ut urhonakua Kuturu unuhuku urhanasa Eko Tarita atatora. Kotor ona hoshuyotora. Sututura kanoraha. Karasana akotiareatana. Kasuhukututaha. Kaasa aya atatara heso. Urot uhoka. Shakanata karasa akotora. Hatura unaka. Ata ara rashaha. Om Ahom. 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 And a breath in for ah. When you are ready, let us invite in a being of higher consciousness, of higher vibration, a collective consciousness. Maybe invite in Om, or Ah, or Hum. Maybe invite in So, or Hum. Or maybe spend time in our true nature. Sharing wisdom, sharing energy of what's relevant for us in this moment. By allowing awareness to simply be. you are ready, heartfelt gratitude. Let us thank the beings, sounds, or our inner being. Let us thank them for our experience, the wisdom shared, for what was received in this moment. As we bid them farewell, and we can see that at any time in the future, and a breath in for ah, and a breath in to chant. So-hung, 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 Soham. 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 And a breath in for ah. Ah. When you are ready, slowly bring awareness back to the present moment, back to the here and now. Maybe invite in some gentle movements. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes and welcome in the new now. Congratulations, my friends. We have completed day number 64. What they, yeah. I'll take a drink of water while I think about my words. What they told me beforehand. What caused a lot of the chuckling. 64 is 4 times 4 times 4. It's a four-sided cube. I mean, it's a cube face made of 4x4s. Rubik's made one of those cubes back in the day. It's the fourth dimensional aspects, or the three-dimensional aspects of our breath, of Om, of Mani, of Padme, and Hum, of the in-breath, of the holding, of the out-breath, of the holding, and how it creates our 3D reality. How the earth, the water, the fire, and the air are made up of this matrix, this physicality. Well, the space in between the elements too. And just like we can look at a cube from the outside, we can be aware of it and we can observe it. When we observe it, we're creating it. If we don't observe it, prati-a-haara, if we're not observing this physical, we're not creating it. So that was at the beginning. I encourage you to journal. Who knows what came up for you? And to persist it for some future moment by doing it, because otherwise it's going to be part of the monkey mind that's going on in our head. What was that meditation about? What did I realize in that meditation? What did I see? What did I do? What did I tari? And it's the hamster on the hamster wheel. They were saying so many things about the Saha moment. I like the title. I'm going to write it up there in Sanskrit as well. The aha moment, the word they want me to use is atta, even though it technically means up until now. It's the present moment. That's all that Spirit was trying to say earlier when we're engaging in this kriya. This karma is just action, and kriya is the complete action. And this idea of completeness and this idea of purity of action, that's from a human perspective. From the divine perspective, dwelling in the lotus of awareness, We're creating in the present moment. That's really what it is. Because if we created in the present moment, our vikara is in the present moment. This shrishti happens in the present moment also. The bur happens at the same time the vikara happens. And the bhuva, this rita, this meaning of what we created, this bur, it's created in the present moment. And they exist fully in the present moment because we have no attachment to it. Because we have no attachment to it, we're not storing it in our auric field. We're not creating karma, the karmic imprint, about it. That's all this purity is about. And that's all this moksha is about. Is we're creating in the present moment, and it's complete in its present moment. Our decision to persist it and to persist the meaning or persist the thing is because we want to play with it more. That's it. That's it. We want to experience it more in some thought form. Patanjali alludes to this in the samadhi, not the samadhi, the Kaivalya Pad, the fourth book, chapter, where the present moment, or the difference between the past and the future, minimize. He doesn't really quite say that it's all the present moment. It becomes into the present moment. He's trying to explain it. But when we create from this present moment fully, it is purely because we have no attachment. That's the isness of it. What else were they saying? Oh, the spelling. Well, you already know what the spelling is up there. The saha, just the letter S and the letter H. Okay? But there's no bindu on each of them, and there's no, let me do it your way, there's no accent at the bottom that says it's a hard stop on the S. So not the S, it's sa, ha. When we say the letter, just write the letter without the bar after it. It's an elongated sound, sa. It's the sa. And whether it's a sa with a U or a sa with an A, it's really a schwa-ish sound, sa, and ha. And if we put the bar, then it's sa and ha, and I'm going to spell it that way because it sounds like sa-ha moment. Kashi uturu ata, sa-ha ata. But I want to say it more like atam, like we're really savoring in this present moment. Atam. But I don't want to put a bindu above the T, atam. It's not epic enough to me, and I also want to make atta and moksha a word, because what they were telling me also is it's mo kosha. No mo kosha. That's what moksha is. No mo kosha. I'm the emperor in my new clothes of Ananda. Iska atarya chana. That's what moksha is. And no little boy is going to come up to us, the emperor, in our new clothes to tell us that we're naked. If we do, we go, yeah, this is my true clothes of Ananda here. This is my bliss clothes on, my birthday suit. No mo kosha. This also could be the title. No mo kosha equals moksha. The Om symbol. Om. Atom. Yeah, because that's the most epic M sound ever. And that's really what the A sound is that symbol without all the embellishments, without the Chandra bindu on top, without the moon on top, and without the tail on the end. It's just the Ah sound. And putting a bindo on the top will be Sure, atam, but we're savoring this present moment. Atam, atam, which is more than just one bindo. It's the ultimate savoring. It's the om of savoring. So, A, T, om, atom, atom. And I want to continue that M into Oksha. So, we're just going to drop the O. So we're just going to say atum Kosha. Tisa ariana haso ukatira atara arka. I'm just going to play with it. Kiso utur shana hotora. And hopefully you find it amusing. Kasi itur ucha ana akosha ayaka hatar. Akosha isaka anato korahase to tora arskana hakarata. So I thank you for sharing in my highest bliss the undressing of ourselves, this moksha, no mokosha, kis atakariata, where our true light shines. Iskatiti toro sonhukosha isisiarta. So shine on with your bad self, with your original bad self, no mokosha self. As your no mokosha bad self, shiny self. Kisika atara asano hukotata. And make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Sakatuta ata ana arahasa.